Hi, if you are new here, I'm Kaniti, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to watch 57th episode of Anima Monster, so let's see what it has. Let's go. Okay. We are having a flashback when he asked to shoot him.
さあ、準備はいいかい？緊張する必要はないよ。
髪留めが曲がってるわ。直してあげるわね。笑って。そうそう、とても可愛いわ。さあ、手をつなぎましょう。
それじゃあ行こうか。先日、東ドイツから西側へ亡命したリーベルト氏が妻子を伴ってマスコミの前に
I hope we are not going to see how Liberts were killed.
疲れた様子もなく、イラン製ソーセージの娘さん息子さんと共に明るい表情を見せてくれました。リーベルトさん、西側のご感想は？それが実に難しいんです。あ、自由に何でも発言できると思うと逆に言葉が見当たらないということですよ。
They seem nice, and I think Nina Anna
質問の答えは妻や子供たち
noticed, said that they were nice to them. So it wasn't a front, like.
を満喫されているようですね。へへ、そのようですね。
But looks like Jochen
現在の東側の
didn't like the cameras flashing at him.
何やってんの？お兄ちゃん？どっちに入ってる？こっち。当たり。はい、アンナのものだよ。やったー、どんぐり。じゃあもう一回。どっちに入ってる？こっち。また当たり。
He probably has them in both hands.
すごーい。お兄ちゃん、両手開いてみて。
Yeah, obviously.
どっちにしても当たりだったんじゃない。そうだよ。だってここにあるどんぐりは全部アンナのものだもん。
That's so sweet.
ねえねえ、お兄ちゃん見た？ここに来るまでの車の外の街。向こうとは全然違うの。綺麗なお店がいっぱい。お洋服もおもちゃもいっぱい。ねえ、お兄ちゃんも見たでしょ？うん、見たよ。あれも全部アンナのものだよ。本当に？本当さ。なんで私のものなの？なんでもさ。
You can see that he laughs. Can I say laughed or should I say laughs? I'm not sure. Because the previous episode, that god of peace that looked in the mirror and saw a monster, as far as I see it, it's like about Johann, well, taking it as a metaphor for the present time. Like as a human, you have this bright side and the dark side. And when he saw in the mirror and he saw that monster side that maybe like Kinderheim created or helped to develop, he wanted Anna to kill him. So that's the same, like, do you know what monster did? He pointed a gun at his head, and as for him, Anna is like him, like a part of him, and that's the same, asking her to kill him. Maybe he couldn't bring himself to do it. Actually, he wanted her to help him, but in this flashback you can see more of his light part, and this is, as I said many times before, is his love for his sister. So the question is, does he still have this love in his heart? Does he love her now?
テレビで見ましたよ、リーベルトさん。とりあえず なっておいてくれ。
They weren't killed by Johan, or
誰か来たのかな。
I'm curious.
お兄ちゃん。
He isn't here? Oh.
お兄ちゃん。
That's the night. We never. Like, I always assumed that Johan shot them both. But there was some older man at their door. Or was he kind of from Kinderheim and influenced Johan? All this time.
ヨーゼフおじさんやクララおばさんが死んだのも、レーデガーさんが死んだのも、全部お兄ちゃんがやったの？
今日は特別さ。
お兄ちゃんがやったの？
だって今日は怪物がやってきたんだ。
みんなお兄ちゃんが殺したのね。
怪物が僕らを連れにやってきたんだ。手を出して。僕を撃てよ。
When he said the monster came, did he mean inside himself or
窓の外へ投げ捨てるんだ。
that man at the
ちゃん
door?
と頭を撃つんだよ。撃ったら逃げるんだ。怪物に捕まらないように。
So the monster won't get you.
大丈夫。僕が死んでも君は僕で、僕は君。
We know she did it. Yes.
あの雨の日の夜、誰かが来た。
So that older man is the one who influenced Johan to do it?
来たの。誰？怪物がやってきたんだ。
A monster. Franz Bonaparte?
ニーナ。
That night.
なんだってこの屋敷から火が出るんだ？誰も住んでなかったはずだぞ。放火じゃないか。嘘だな。ドクターテンマ。ちょっとご同行願えますか。ボルフ将軍がお呼びです。ボルフ将軍。
We saw him already before, I think. He was sitting in a chair. Now he's lying in bed. Looks like his condition has worsened. He looks much worse, I think, than when we saw him last time,
ボルフ将軍。
if I'm remembering right.
ドクターテンマ。はい。やはり君も呼ばれたのだね。赤いバラの屋敷。
He was also summoned.
ヨハンからの手紙だ。私はこのプラハの病院にたどり着くのがやっとだったがね。あなたに
He asked them
皮肉な話だ。ボルフという人間に手紙を渡すのは楽に。
to come and then burn the mansion.
あまり喋らない方がいいです。私は軍人の家庭に生まれた。選ばれた者としての道が生まれながらに約束されていた。それが今では私として知る者はあの怪物だけだ。 いバラの屋敷が燃え落ちたそうだね。今頃あそこからきっと白日のもとに姿を現しているだろう。私のように名前を奪われた者たちが。出火場所の特定はできたのか？はい。どうやら2階の
Like the corpses in the walls or something like that.
からすると灯油かガソリンか。灯油？やはり放火か。もっと詳しく調べてみないとわからないんですが、広間の壁が壊された跡があるんです。どういうことだ？さあ、ちょっと来てください。
Let's see. It's about that empty room, right?
これは
Yeah, these are skulls.
木の根元に何か見えたので掘ってみたら、次から次へ出てくるんです。
So they were buried.
年月を経て彼らは白日のもとに
All these dead people that Nina remembered seeing in the room.
名前を知る者などいない。なんてことだ。完全に燃え落ちている。
Did he want to show them that?
唯一の手がかりの屋敷がこれでは。どいて、どうして、どいて。なんだ。本庁へ連絡してくれ。大至急だ。白骨が、大量の人骨が。46人。私は
How did they all fit in the room?
1981年、あの屋敷で46人の人間が忽然と姿を消した。当時、東ドイツで私が得たわずかな情報だ。あの屋敷である実験が行われていた。実験。下がって下がって。これは私の推理だが、おそらくあそこであの子供が生まれた。
Born? Their poor mother gave birth in the mansion? Does he mean that? Or that the monster in him was born? Okay, that's how they talk that they crossed the border. They mentioned it in the beginning too. Right?
お姉ちゃん、私たち死んじゃうのかな。
That
お兄ちゃん、名前を呼んで。私の名前を呼んで。
僕たちには名前がないんだよ。
名前を呼んで。名前を。
But there were stories about Johann by Franz Bonaparte. Did Johann take that name from the story? They weren't really given any names.
毛布。はっ。そして温かい飲み物。はっ。
And then they sent them to different kindergartens after that. I'm not very good with timelines, I'm sorry. They had the book with them.
ヨハン、素敵な名前なの。ヨハン。
Or he was given name.
ではなかった。私が
Yeah, he gave him that name from the book.
彼の中の何かが目覚めてしまったのか。いや、昔の話はもう意味がない。これからの話をしよう。私に明日はもうない。もういいです、ボルフ将軍。
So that was him in the head. He looks so different.
バハイネマンは私たちの組織の人間と共にいる。
So she's alive at least.
私たちの組織、殺されたゲーデリッツ教授とそして私、今は他の残りの2人のもとにいる。エヴァを利用しようとしている。引き合わせてはいけない。私は生きていようがいまいがもう歯止めにならない。暴走が始まろうとしている。と
止めてくれ、救ってくれ、テンマ。ドクター・テンマ。私の名はヘルムート。ヘルムート・ウォルフ。
He wants to be remembered.
私がヘルムートだと知っている人間はもうこの
Yeah, he said he was left alone because of Johann.
それが私の生きた証だ。
ヘルムート、
名前を。
ヘルムート、あなたはヘルムート・ボルフだ。
これがヨハンの見た風景か。名前のない世界だ。
ボルフ将軍、
It's interesting that some people think that names are not really that important, but this anime really shows you how important a name can be. It's like something people know you by, it's how you stay remembered with your name, so your identity, I guess, in a way.
本人も
Being someone.
警察が立ち入り禁止にしたんだね。
Yeah, after finding the skeletons. Well, these are obviously these people that she remembered seeing in that room with the portrait.
子供の頃から朗読会で過ごしたこの場所が大事なのはわかります。
Yeah, and Mr. Lipsky was on the readings.
君にとっても大事な場所だったはず。君の記憶を呼び戻すきっかけになる場所だったかもしれない。
I think they can climb over.
この屋敷の大広間でたくさんの人が折り重なるように。
And so they were buried near the rose bushes after that.
本当だったもんね。ニュース見てびっくりしたもん。赤いバラの屋敷から46人の遺骨見つかるって。
お兄さんが、ヨハンが君に語った通りだった。
ヨハンは何を見てしまったの？とてつもなく恐ろしいこと。本当の恐怖。もし私がその時、その場所に私がいたとしたら、
But it was
私が怪物になっていたの。
ニナ、ここが燃えていよう。
it looked like it was her memories.
僕はもっと辛いかと思った。この場所を失ったら生きていけないかと思った。でもそんな気持ちにはならない。
Maybe
ここが悲しい思い出ばかりだからかな。僕は優秀な生徒じゃなかった。それが悲しい。あの人の期待に応えられなかった。それが悲しい。もしも
maybe that's good that he didn't meet his expectations.
でも現実
Maybe Johan did meet his expectations and
リップスキーさん、お父さんお母さんはい
るよ。でも一緒に暮らしたことはない。ニナの記憶が、もしニナの記憶が戻ってくるなら、楽しい思い出が戻ってくればいいのに。
楽しい思い出。
楽しい思い出。なんだろう、楽しい思い出って。
天馬が言ってたよ。楽しい思い出がなかったら作ればいいって。
that's fair.
これから作ればいいって天馬が言ってた。
Yeah, I guess that moment, what he experienced in the rose, oh, they're making good memories in the mansion, made him, like, a monster in him be born, I guess. So that's where it all started. So after that, they crossed the border and were sent to different kindergartens. I'm a bit envious. They're having a nice time. I wish I could go somewhere like that.
リータ、口の前に
They
来るの？みんなだって。
should give them napkins with the hot dogs.
ニナ、今新しい人形劇を作ってるんだけどさ、
どんな人形劇？
今まで人は僕の人形劇なんて見たがらなかった。でも今度のはみんなが
I wonder what changes did he make.
見せて、その新作。見たい見たい。
Will we have a repetition?
記憶をなくした女の子、怪物に追われる夢を見、怪物を追いかける夢を見る。でも私は歌が好き、踊るのも好き。いつか素敵な夢、
He was inspired by Anna,
いつか
Nina.
その夢が叶う日が来る。いつかこの先が思いつかない。この女の子の物語をハッピーエンドにしたいんだ。でもまだ思いつかないんだ。ハッピーエンドにしたいんだ。
I think he's very nice. She's touched too.
ありがとう。
女の子は旅立つ決意をしました。この旅がどんな旅になるかわかりません。この先何が待ち構えているかわかりません。でも女の子はきっと力強く旅を続けます。女の子は何度も何度も振り返り手を振ります。何度も何度も。そして言ってしまいました。
That's actually very sweet.
ハッピーエンドを探し。
I hope he can make more happy memories. He seems like a very kind person. Looks like he was hurt psychologically also in some way by Franz Bonaparte or... I'm worried about him now.
ニナ、戻ってきて。探しましたよ。
Lungi?
リクスキーさん。あなた、赤いバラの屋敷の主、フランツ・ボナパルタの
What?
息子さんですね。
He's his son. Okay, that's actually an unexpected twist, to be honest. I don't think he... Yeah, I don't think he hinted at it before. But... Did the ending change a bit? I don't remember seeing this picture where he blows up. I think the ending has changed a bit. Maybe it did earlier and I didn't notice, but now it kind of continues the story of a monster, and I think the lyrics are also a bit newer. Please believe in the kindness of your eyes and then make it home to your land of harmony and make it home to your land of purity. Make it home. I think that sounds very hopeful, and I think Anna, Nina, remembering her good times with Johann, like with Acorns, we saw that flashback, probably some other moments, they really like stood by each other and loved each other. So I think remembering this makes her think that, yeah, maybe he can somehow be saved. So something happened that made him a monster, made that monster appear in his heart, and she even questioned herself, if I went through the same experiences as he did, if I was there in the mansion during this experiment or something, would I become a monster too? Would it be inside of me? Because also at the moment where Johann asked her to shoot him, he asked her to run, so the monster doesn't get to her. He probably meant that man that came to their house, like Franz Bonaparte, I don't know, some man that held an influence over him and that he considered a monster. So he wanted to free himself from that monster that was created in his heart. So Johann asked Anna to shoot him, and then he didn't want his sister to go through the same experiences, so he asked her to run. We know that she didn't run, so I guess the police maybe came quite fast, or maybe that man went away just like that. Maybe he didn't expect this to happen, so he thought he could kind of get to them later. I'm not sure, but I also felt like he thought that maybe shooting him might awaken the monster inside of his sister, so the monster could get her from inside her heart. But I also thought about that. And as far as I understand, like the timeline of the events, it's a shame that I took so many breaks, unfortunately, so I don't remember everything perfectly. But I think the timeline is such that they were born. Their mom might have been a lover of Franz Bonaparte. Maybe Franz Bonaparte is also their father. Maybe he, like, it's unclear if Johann was born here in the mansion. So maybe either Franz Bonaparte is their father, or there was some other father and he then became a lover of their mom, but I think the first is more likely. So she had these two children, and Johann didn't feel like he was loved, especially by his mom, as we saw from that episode where I forgot the name of that poor guy. Well, we saw in that episode where he tried to get some bad influence to that poor boy, sending him to these scary places. He expressed his feelings actually about your mom not wanting you, and I had a theory that his mom also closed him as a girl to say that she only has one child, this Anna Nina, who probably also in the beginning, so she didn't even give names to her children. They didn't have names, child one, child two. So after whatever happened with the mansion and all of that, it was said that Johann was taken away, but maybe he was taken away to the mansion, right? And then they managed to reunite again. They crossed the border from Czechoslovakia to Germany, and in Germany they were taken in by the General Wolf, but he only took Johann to that Kinderheim where the social experiments were happening, and Anna was taken to another kindergarten, which was much nicer. So while Johann was continuing spiraling into a monster, continued being influenced by the people who wanted to make him into a monster, like Hitler #2 or something like that. Meanwhile, Anna continued her life without such influence. So after that, we also heard the tape with Johann, how he still had this boy in him that wanted to be happy, spend time with his sister, but because of this influence, the monster was coming out more often, and he was afraid to kind of forget himself, I think, in a way. So the only thing that he could latch on, that his heart can remember was his sister. Then they were reunited again, and I came from East Germany to West Germany, right? With the Liberts, they stayed with some people that Johann turns out killed. Looks like it was Johann who killed them. Seems so. So Anna didn't realize that it was him, but after she saw this incident with Libers, she presumed that it was Johann killing these people all along, these people who took them in and were nice to them. And so after that we know everything that happened. She went to live with her adoptive family and got the name Nina, while Johann just continued spiraling downwards. This is, I guess this is the timeline. I think I got this right. Okay. And Mr. Lipski, turns out he is a son of this Franz Bonaparte, and I guess he was, how to say it, he also felt like his dad wasn't loving, expected more from him that he could give, and the influence of his dad on him was very damaging, because he couldn't become his own person. He still lives in a shadow of his dad, thinking like this story is about monster, and looking at all these books, like he can't tear himself away from these memories, from this influence of his father. And that's I think it's nice that he created a story about Anna Nina, because it's still connected, but it's a turn in kind of new direction. So I think that time that he spent with her was very nice for him. But now I'm curious what Lunge is going to ask him. So I think that's all my thoughts for this episode. This was very interesting. So if you have any thoughts without spoilers, of course, share them in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and see ya.